Probably one of the most confusing aspects of gardening comes down to fertilising. What fertiliser do you choose? What formulation do you use? What fertilisers are for what type of plants that you're growing? There are so many questions that need to be answered, but it's really not that difficult or challenging if you just take your time to look across the product range and understand what your plant's needs are. Now, in regards to formulations, we have a number of different types. We have these controlled release fertilisers, which are ideal for using on containerised plants. These are prilled fertilisers. So those prills, very easy to actually disperse across your containerised plants or even in the garden for that matter. And these ones release by reverse osmosis. So what does that mean? When you place them onto the top of your container plants and you water the plant, the combination of moisture and temperature slowly releases the nutrient held within those prills into the growing media. So an ideal way for the lazy gardener to ensure that your plants are going to get the nutrition they need over a 3, 6, 9 or 12-month period, depending on the product that you choose. The next one are these crystalline fertilisers. These guys are water-soluble, hence the name on this particular product, Aquasol, water-soluble. These crystalline fertilisers do have a very high salt index. So one of the potential problems here is if you use it on a regular basis, particularly on a containerised plant, you're going to get a build-up of salts within the soil or within the container media. So you need to make sure that you flush these ones through. The beauty of these, you get instantaneous uptake of nutrients for your plants, and they come in a broad range of NPK ratios, so you get the right balance. The other ones that we can go to are the granular fertilisers, such as this fellow here. These guys are really good too, because as a granular fertiliser, they're great for using in the garden. I wouldn't be using these on my containerised plants though, because with granular fertilisers, they tend to be a little bit too harsh for containerised pots. So if you're growing container plants, stick with the controlled release fertilisers or the liquid fertilisers. In the garden, if you want a really good quick fix, the granular fertilisers will release nutrients over a longer period of time gradually, so they're ideal in a lot of situations. Designed for roses, for citrus, for azaleas, any type of plant, there's a fertiliser to suit. The next one are these, what I love to use in the garden, organic fertilisers, such as blood and bone. This one's a staple, ideal for use in the veggie patch. And the beauty of organic fertilisers such as the blood and bone and the pelletised chicken manure, the dynamic lifter here, are that they not only produce a beautiful slow release of nutrients into the soil, they also help build up the soil biology. So you get the really good bacteria, the fungi and the bacteria, and a build-up of other biological organisms in the soil by using the organics as they break down and slowly release nutrients. So these are my preferred go-to option if I'm using fertilisers within the garden. We can also get products where we might have a situation with trace element deficiencies, etc. So we can start to use products that are for acid-loving plants, your azaleas, your camellias, magnolias. These are the fertilisers to keep those ones going. The other options you have are with trace elements. Sometimes you might find there's some issues in the garden where plants deviate from normal growth. You'll get some variations in colour, chlorosis in the veins of the leaves, yellowing of the leaves. It may be a simple adjustment of the pH. It may be that you just need to fertilise with a general purpose fertiliser, or if there's a significant trace element deficiency, this is the sort of product you need to go to. How do you know what's going on? Bring some of your material up to the nursery at Burnetts, and the horticulturist here will be able to steer you in the right direction with what's happening with your plants and what product is best suited to them. You can also find that the fertilisers are designed specifically for various types of crops. With this fellow here, if you want a really lush green lawn so your neighbours are going to be green with envy, use these types of products. Some of these are what we refer to as solitary or sole fertilisers. They're nutrient rich. You can get them where they're just one element, elemental nitrogen in the form of urea. Ideal if you just want to improve the quality of your soil and increase the nitrogen content in the soil. But whatever fertiliser you choose to use, just make sure you check the ratios of NPK so that it's giving you the right balance you want. And if in doubt, ask your horticulturist at the nursery.